Welcome to the Top Gun 1 presentation of the installation instructions for the 1996 through 2007 Chrysler Sebring convertible top and defroster glass window. Please watch the video all the way through before beginning the installation. A laptop in the work area is handy. That way you can watch, then perform each step in sequence. Our instructor has 41 years of experience with convertible tops, but this video, while detailed, is a guide only. The Sebrings use the same top from 1996 through 2007. However, some small details may change from year to year. Installation of this top will usually take a professional 6 to 8 hours. The first-time installer should plan on 2 days. Remove the top as shown. Do not cut or tear the top away. Removing it as shown will teach you much about installing your new top. It will also keep the top whole so it can be used as a reference if needed later. By the time you start installing your new top, you will have forgotten where each nut and bolt belongs. For this reason, we recommend putting nuts, bolts, and small parts in Ziploc bags and labeling them, identifying the area from which they came. Here is a list of tools that you'll need for the job. They're mostly common hand tools. Always use this proper safety precaution when using tools. The only tools worthy of note here are the staple gun, the staple remover, and the coat hanger. The staple gun must be air or electric. A hand staple gun simply does not have the power. If you don't own one, they can usually be found at tool rental stores. A staple remover can be replaced by one of a different type or by a common screwdriver. Also, a common screwdriver can be modified to perform the job a little better. The coat hanger will be straightened and a small hook bent into one end. So we don't appear to mislead you, let's get a few terms straight. When we refer to the top in the up position, the car will look like this. When we refer to the top in the halfway position, the car will look like this. A word of caution, left to its own devices, a top frame will refuse to stay in the halfway position. Depending on the condition of the hydraulics and the cylinders, it may drift to the up position or to the down position. This may happen over the course of a few minutes or a few hours. Never leave the top unattended in the halfway position, never leave tools in the well area, and never put your fingers in a position where you may be injured if the top frame drifts from the halfway position. When we refer to the top in the down position, the car will look like this. Alrighty then, let's get started. We've lowered the side windows and put the top in the halfway position. Remove the front and rear side weather strips. Use a common screwdriver or a staple puller. The forward weather strip has a plastic clip at each end. Pry them out, then pull gently but firmly. The rear weather strip has no clips, but does have a small piece of double-sided tape at the leading edge. Repeat these steps on the other side. Next, we'll remove the front and rear side weather strip retainers. They're fastened with 3 Phillips head screws each and double-sided tape. Remove the screws and gently pry the retainers from the top frame, and do the same to the other side. With the retainers out of the way, we can begin removing the top. At the front of the sail panel, insert a screwdriver or staple remover under the material and pry it loose. It's only held in place by adhesive. Repeat this procedure on the other side. Put the top in the down position. Cover the trunk area with furniture pads or heavy blankets. Remove the screws holding the front metal retainer and the plastic fascia. Lift off the retainer and the fascia. The top is stapled to the front bow. The next step is to remove those staples. Some staples may break. If they do, take care to remove every small part of the broken staple. This will avoid injury to yourself or the top material later. The tacking strip is riveted to the front bow. It's plastic and occasionally it will break. If it does, it can be repaired easily with the same urethane adhesive used to install automobile windshields. Use the adhesive according to the instructions on the label. Next, we're going to remove the well liner flap. Put the top in the up position, but do not latch it. The push nuts holding the well flap will most likely be damaged during removal. You can get new ones at any well-equipped local hardware store. In the well area, lift the well liner flap and remove the push pins that fasten the flap. Remove the flap from the car. With the well flap out of the way, remove the screw holding the elastic strap that's attached to the headliner. Do this on both sides. The exposed trim stick will be in 5 pieces. Remove all of the nuts and pull the trim sticks from the studs that protrude from the car. This may be difficult because the holes have a plastic spacer that grips tightly to the threaded stud. Pull one side of the trim stick out of the well and lay it on the furniture pad that you used to cover the trunk. Release the clasp on the tension spring and remove the spring from the top. Leave it attached to the trim stick and do this on both sides. At one end of the trim stick, begin removing the staples at the bottom of the sail panel, exposing the plastic center of the trim stick. Do this on both sides. Continue removing staples until you have exposed the window unit material. Mark where the edge of that material meets the trim stick. Mark also where the edge of the top and the pad meet the trim stick. Do this on both sides. Your new top and window should fasten close to that mark. With the top in the halfway position, tension will be released from the side tension cable, making it safe to remove. Remove the machine screw holding the rear edge of the cable. Remove the mesh spring protector. Pull the cable through the top. If your cable will not pull loose, cut the cable sleeve open. Do this on both sides. Remove the machine screw that holds the elastic strap that secures the top to the side rail, and do that on both sides. Put the top in the full up position and do not latch it. With a razor knife, cut the bow listings that fasten the underside of the top to the metal bows. Remove the top from the car. Do not discard it. If you're unsure during the installation process, your old top will often have answers to questions. Remove the padding strip from the corner of the fourth bow and save it. Do the same on the other side. This item is really just a piece of loop Velcro with adhesive on the back that they put down to cover the staples, then put a piece of duct tape over top of it. Remove the positioning screws at the ends of the window extrusion on the fourth bow. Do this on both sides. Remove also the positioning screw at the end of the bow pad on the fourth bow. Do that only on the driver's side. Drill out the pop rivets used to lock the bow extrusion in place on the fourth bow. Do this on the driver's side only. Inside the car, above the rear window, release the Velcro that fastens the headliner to the window unit. Cut the window unit away from the extrusion that's fastened to the fourth bow. Remove the window extrusion from the fourth bow. Remove the defroster wires from the right and left side of the rear window. If you don't have a defroster window, you'll skip this step. As you remove the trim sticks from the car, mark the top side and mark them right and left, or driver's side and passenger side if you prefer. In the next series of clips, we'll remove the bow pads to allow for removal of the listing extrusions. Remove the bow pad locking screw